Right now, an 8-year-old is in critical condition after she was shot while asleep in her bed. Police say someone shot into the house near the intersection of Autumn Drive and Ryan Street in Greensboro. WFMY News 2's Daniel Cruz joins us live at the scene with the latest.
Lauren, police got the call about this shooting very early in the morning around 1 a.m. They responded to those shots fired into the home, but as you mentioned, when they arrived, they found that an 8-year-old had been shot while she was asleep in her bed. Now, that child was quickly rushed to the hospital tonight. She's still listed in critical condition. Along Autumn Drive, bullet holes are still visible in the side of the house. Windows of a nearby car are also shattered. Police officers returned to the scene to search for evidence after the sun rose this morning. They canvassed the neighborhood multiple times. Even still, Corporal DJ Bonatti says they are still left with very few details as they try and find out who is responsible. Again, that child is 8 years old and she's still in the hospital tonight, listed in critical condition. Police are pleading with anyone that may know something to reach out to Crime Stoppers or call the police. You can remain completely anonymous again, and Bonatti says it will take the help of the community to find out who did this.
There's must-see video tonight out of Forsyth County. The sheriff's office is investigating an incident at a Mayflower restaurant that left an employee with severe burns. Let's show you that video from the Rule Hall location. It happened last night. You can see a customer stands across the counter from two employees. The customer picks up the soup, slings it right at the worker, a 17-year-old employee. Her mom says she is currently suffering from first-degree burns.
Where the soup splattered on her, she has burns in certain locations on her body. So it's not a full coverage, but it still covers a very wide range on her skin. It's uncomfortable.
Poor thing. We will have the full coverage and more from Mom and the restaurant coming up at 5 o'clock. You know, the world is already nasty enough. We don't need stuff like this.
When I see that video, it just makes me so mad watching that. Like, what gives you the right to violate somebody's space, to get violent and get physical like that? I mean, I know she didn't touch her, but still throwing cups, especially with hot water, it might as well have been a physical altercation. Nothing can ever be that bad that should drive you to do something like that.
No, if you feel that angry, walk away. Take a breath. Then come back if you have to.
I think we have to put more spotlight on anger management, because there's been other stories in the headlines of people going through the drive-through and shooting in through a drive-through because someone got their order wrong. So seeing the video of that, it just makes me upset, because that 17-year-old, that person, that employee really didn't deserve that. There's nothing that could have happened that says that this is okay.
And not only that, it's hard enough already to find people to work in restaurants like that. I can't imagine someone seeing a video like that and thinking, oh, that's what I want to do as a career now.
Yeah.
Have to put up with the public like that.
Just a shame, but I'm just really hoping that she's recovering right now and that, you know, she's supported with family and friends during this time, because that's pretty ridiculous. All right, in other news, we are learning new details about the crash on Highway 109 that killed a mother and two children earlier this month. The driver who caused the crash died from their injuries 2 weeks later. A new state highway patrol crash report reveals that Robin DeGennaro's blood alcohol content was nearly 3 times the limit, the legal limit. The report also says DeGennaro was driving 90 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone at the time of this crash. A third person, Brian Reeder, was also injured in the crash. Reeder is a firefighter in Silver Valley. Skipper's Seafood Restaurant of Thomasville says he was picking his son up from a school dance when the crash happened. The restaurant says Reeder needs surgery and won't be able to work and provide for his family while he recovers. The Thomasville restaurant is holding a fundraiser for Reeder on Monday from 4:30 to 7. Skipper Seafood says all proceeds will go to Reeder and his family. Investigators say a North Carolina State University student was found dead in his dorm room. School officials say freshman Adam Fawcett died this week. They say his death is currently being investigated as an unintended death, but didn't release anything else about how he died. A spokesperson for the university says campus health services held drop-in counseling sessions this week for anyone wanting to talk.
We're going to switch gears here and talk about the weather, which has been a bit of an issue today. Just kind of a nuisance, really. We can handle rain, but we've had plenty of it, and we're not totally done with it just yet. I'm going to start you out with a view of High Point. Of course, it tells the story. Looking gloomy, a little low clouds, kind of some fog almost. Temperatures have been cold all day long, and they remain that way right now in the 40-degree range. We just haven't been able to warm up, partly because of all that rain in our area. But I'm going to show you something pretty wild here. Notice our temperatures for most of our communities. We have upper 30s to the north, low 40s in many of the Triad cities. But take a look. It's 50 in Asheboro, 53 in Siler City, and 64 down in the Pinehurst area. That's a big difference. You can take a short drive today and go from winter to spring almost, and a lot of that has to do with our cold air that just won't leave us behind. We call it that wedge front, and it's stuck here. The warmer winds are well to the south. That southerly wind not able to make it in here. We do have some more rain on the way. Most of it'll be light, drizzly, not as heavy as it was at times before. That's the live radar. Let me turn it into a loop for you, and you can see those heavier showers pushed away earlier, but we are getting a little bit of redevelopment on the backside. Most of this will be light, but it will be annoying. That persistent kind of the first thing you need to do on the car is just turn that windshield wiper to that first one, and it'll do the trick for the most part. Zooming out, you see the end of this thing has already made it to Atlanta. The North Carolina mountains are done with it as well. The cold air is lingering back in Tennessee, and that will start to move in over the next couple of days. Futurecast looks like this. We'll keep the showers around through about 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. After that, we are done with them. Lingering cloud cover through the overnight hours, but then clearing out toward tomorrow morning. I do have sunshine for you tomorrow. Check this out. We're in the mid-30s in the morning. No need to worry about black ice. I just don't think that's going to be a problem. We should be well above freezing, but it will be cold, and it's a breezy, chilly day of weather. Highs will be in the upper 40s with a stiff wind at times. We'll talk about 40s for your Friday and a colder day as well, but the sun will stick around through Saturday.
Here at home, the easiest way to know whether rain is in the forecast is by using the News 2 app. You can customize alerts for your part of town so you aren't caught without that umbrella.
While we're dealing with all of this rain, things could be much worse. There was some terrifying weather in the south. At least 14 tornadoes were reported along the Gulf Coast yesterday, impacting millions of Americans.
These storms damaged countless homes and businesses. Luckily, authorities say there have been no deaths so far. More than 40,000 Texans are still without power. That's according to the website poweroutage.us. And residents in St. Louis, Missouri woke up to snow-covered roadways this morning and making a mess for the morning commute. Weather officials said some areas got up to 7 inches of snow.
It seems like for weeks now we've been doing these stories about bad weather other places.
Right.
Is the Triad just in a bubble?
Well, there's some truth to that, yeah. So actually the way that the weather works across the country usually has to do with this thing we call the jet stream. We talk about it a lot, but a lot of people might not really know what that is. But the way the jet stream works is if it's dipping really far south in one part of the country, you're usually going to see an unleashing amount of cold air from Canada and whipping winds, and it creates storms and stuff like this. So for a big chunk of the new year so far, it's been dipped over California and the West Coast. Now it's dipping a little closer to like the middle of the country, and we're just not seeing any of the bad stuff here.
Does that dip have specific areas of the country it usually hits, or could we be in line with that sometime? Maybe not this year, but
so
in the
it varies all the time, and
Okay.
it can change week to week or month to month. You think back to Christmas, how cold and bitterly, Arctic blast it was here. That was because of a huge dip in the jet stream that happened right here, and it will happen again sometime. But until then, that's why we've been warmer than average. Is we've had the opposite. It's kind of like a seesaw. When one side of the country is down, the other one is up, and we've been on that warmer side of things for a while.
Well, I feel bad for our neighbors, but I do have to say I enjoyed this weather that we had.
I will speak up though for the snow lovers among us. There are a lot of people in the Triad that want that weather.
Okay, I thought you were about to say snow is coming. I said I don't want to.
Oh no,
hear.
I didn't say that.
As long as the tornadoes don't come here, I
That's
could put up with a little snow.
Yeah.
Right, we do not want that. It would be nice to have a little bit of fluffy stuff though for them.
A
The
little
snow
bit,
fans.
not much.
Just a tiny bit of snowflake or
A
two.
safe amount. Yes.
On a weekend when people can stay home.
We'll probably have to work though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still gonna have to come in. So either way,
Maybe I
but
just won't mention it.
lots of great news coming up. Up next, Hallmark is known for their Christmas-themed movies with picturesque settings. The franchise has added the Biltmore to their list of scenic holiday love stories. We'll be right back. Lights, camera, action. Production is underway at the Biltmore Estate in Asheville for a Hallmark movie, Biltmore Christmas, starring Bethany Joy Lenz and Christopher Paloha, is expected to air during Hallmark's 2023 Countdown to Christmas. The twist on A Christmas Love Story is expected to finish filming on Friday. Biltmore officials worked with Hallmark to approve the movie script. They say they are confident it will draw in Hallmark fans from all over to come and see the beauty of the Biltmore Christmas traditions. So take a look at some of the pictures actress Bethany Joy Lenz shared from set. She's not a stranger to filming in North Carolina. She also starred in the TV show One Tree Hill, which was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina for years. I've got to say, I personally do like the Hallmark movies. I know some people think they're lovey-dovey. I really like them, but I think it's going to be so beautiful in a setting like the Biltmore. I mean, that place is beautiful. It's a palace. It's gorgeous.
You can't go wrong there. I mean, anything is going to look great at the Biltmore.
What I'm curious is it a period piece and they're going to go back in time, or is it a modern day love story there?
You got that right. So I was doing some research on what they're going to be doing there. They're actually going to go back in time. So the star, I believe she's writing a movie script and she spills over a timetable, and then they end up in the like 1940s.
That's cool.
So I think that's going to be pretty cool.
I'd like to see them do like a Downton Abbey style show at the Biltmore. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
Yeah, something like that.
It's just so beautiful around Christmas time. Have you all ever been around the Christmas time to the Biltmore?
My favorite hot take is not Christmas, but the wedding season one.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't been to that, it's really cool because they set up the Biltmore for a giant party. So everything looks happy and fun and festive.
I went once at Christmas and once at spring. And in the spring, you get the flower gardens are all in bloom. And so that's also a nice time to go.
When I went last year around this time, it was at the end of January, so they still had some of the Christmas decorations up. They were actually, you could see boxes that said balls or trees or everything, but you could still see some rooms were fully decorated. So I was like, I've got to come back so I can see the full thing.
I'm glad she gets to come back to North Carolina and film. When I worked in Wilmington, One Tree Hill, where she was on the TV show, they filmed right across the street from my TV station. So I'd walk outside sometimes and just kind of see them, doing their thing.
Get an autograph?
They used our studio once.
Did you get an autograph?
Cool.
No.
That's still pretty cool, though.
I think they maybe saw me in Waipella.
Well, there are so many great places in our state like the Biltmore. So I asked you on Facebook, where is your favorite place to visit in North Carolina? Joan Martin says the beach, Carolina or Oak Island. Sadly, I haven't been in more than 10 years due to various issues. Vern Jamison wrote NC Zoo. It's a great place to visit. I would love to go back and visit. Kay Burton, Boone and Blowing Rock. I love to go to the mountains. That is my happy place. And then Jonathan Jones, anywhere in the mountains.
This is the best part about North Carolina is you get both of it.
Yes.
So much fun.
You do get to pick. And you don't need to choose. You can do both also, like you said. I think there are two types of people, though. There are the beach people and there are the mountain people in North Carolina.
I'm a mountain person.
Really?
Yeah, I just think that it's more fun to go and have stuff to do instead of laying around on the beach all day.
I like a little bit of both. I do like the mountains and I like the beach. I like to do a little bit of hiking, and then I like to lay beachside with a nice little cocktail. But I would have to say my favorite place that I visited would have to be Asheville. Would have to be where the Biltmore is.
Such a cool place.
So beautiful. I definitely want to go back in the spring. Everybody says you need to go back when it's a little warmer, but I enjoyed it so much. Lots of great restaurants. I like the architecture downtown. It was just really beautiful.
The art scene is amazing there. I love all the little galleries.
The food is so good. The food is
great. The food is good. We went to a couple restaurants, but the only thing when I went last year, it was snowing around that time. So I got snowed in one of the days, so I lost a day to go see everything. That's when we got hit here.
I remember this,
Yeah, so I had missed all the severe weather coverage.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
If I had to pick between the two, I think I would pick the beach. I do like to just unwind and disconnect. Like I would spend a whole week at the beach. If I go to the mountains, I'm probably only going to go for like 3 days.
Really?
The weekend. Do you want to stay downtown Asheville for the weekend?
Sure.
What do you like about the mountains?
I think that the view is really peaceful to me. I like being in touch with nature, and I moved here from Lake Tahoe. So I really love seeing all the trees again. I miss that.
So many great places in our city and lots of things to do in those great places.
Can't go wrong. Enjoy.
So actually, in the mountains right now, there is something going on this weekend if you want to get up there. It's not that far of a drive either. It's over at Blowing Rock Winterfest. This chili tradition offers a fun family weekend with a packed schedule of different events. You can come, eat, play all day and through Sunday.
Cool.
This is a picture that our director's Brad's family enjoying Winterfest. His mom gave us the review of all the fun times.
Downtown Blowing Rock, we're getting ready for Winterfest. Snow on the ground and lots of fun.
Oh,
Hey there,
that's
Pam.
Mom.
Good stuff. This
So pretty.
Pam Lowry is one of our weather spotters sometimes.
Oh,
Not
awesome.
officially, but I'll joke with Brad. It's like, I need to scoop on the snow up in Blowing Rock, and she'll send me a little video.
I love that.
They have a great time up there in the winter.
I've never been to Blowing Rock, but I definitely want to go. It was a lot of people on the Facebook page were saying that's their favorite place to visit.
I think this is the solution for all the snow lovers in the Triad. Just get in a car and go up there for the weekend. Get your fill, be done.
It's gorgeous. It's a nice little town. It's like one street. If you blink, you'll miss it. I mean,
Really?
It's
a
one
quaint-
spectacular street.
One street, but they have so many events happening at this Winterfest. They have hay rides, ice sculptures, the polar plunge, wine tasting. I think the wine tasting event is already sold out. So it's like dozens of things happening at that event.
I'll go up there. I'll have some of the food and the drink. I'm not doing the polar plunge though.
I'm not either.
It's not something
Looked
on my bucket
cold.
list.
I'm not the best swimmer, but props to the people who do it. It's for a good cause.
No shock to the system.
All right, y'all. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you're doing your best to stay warm and dry on a chilly, wet day here in the Triad. We've seen a lot of this lately, haven't we? I think back maybe to Sunday when we had a good amount of rain and it was cold throughout the day. This is another one of those days for us. 30s to the north, right around 40 in most of our cities, but take a look. 50 for you in Randolph County, 63 in Troy, 60s over in Raleigh as well. In fact, if you go to the beach today, Wilmington, Charleston, Myrtle, close to 70 degrees. This is a Carolina special. We call it the cold air wedge. This cold air cannot get pushed away by the warm air. It just literally can't move it away because cold air is more dense than warm air, and the mountains keep it stuck here. We call it the Appalachian wedge this time of year. Chilly air is moving through the eastern half of the country, and of course we've been talking about the rain. We've seen pictures of the snow. It's very far away, but of course there are pictures of that. Here locally, we're not done with the rain completely. Still, we have a couple of light showers still kind of moving through. Downpours should be over with, and one thing I want to point out, we're not going to get any thunderstorms. Yesterday I mentioned there would be that possibility. That is not going to happen at this point. We are good to go. Rain totals so far have been impressive, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and again, a little bit more is still on the way, so we could end up closer to that 1 inch mark. Not that we really want to. Futurecast, that's 7 p.m. This is around 9:30, and by midnight, everything is over with. So just a couple more hours to deal with the soggy weather. And one thing for tonight, you don't need to worry about black ice. We will not get down to freezing, so we should be fine even though the roads are damp. Temperatures in the 30s in the morning, warming to the 40s for Friday afternoon. Sorry, Thursday. Friday also will be dry and sunny as well. We'll keep that around, in fact, through Saturday. But our next chance for rain comes up on Sunday with some scattered showers, and next week is looking soggy too. Just the messenger here, but boy, do we have a wet weather pattern that has been with us for a little while already. Still not foreseeing any winter weather chances for us over the next 7 days.
We all know rent prices are just way too high. It is hard to afford a place to live. Well, to help, the White House announced a new plan today. Michael George explains the proposal.
From small towns to major cities, the cost of rent is sky high, and it's taking a toll on millions of Americans.
When I first moved, I was paying about $1,300, so now I'm at $2,400.
While prices have crept down in recent months, a report by Moody's found the average renter is spending 30% or more of their income on rent. That's an all-time high. Wednesday, the Biden administration announced a plan for a non-binding Renters' Bill of Rights. It includes actions like asking the FTC and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to investigate unfair rental practices. The Justice Department will examine anti-competitive information sharing in rental markets. And HUD will look at a rule requiring public housing authorities to give tenants 30 days notice before terminating a lease due to non-payment of rent.
It's great to have the White House speak out about the importance of tenants' rights.
Seamus Roller is executive director of the National Housing Law Project, an advocacy group fighting on behalf of tenants. He calls the proposal a good beginning.
Is what the Biden administration proposing, does it have teeth? Will it actually help lower rents?
Nothing that they propose will lower rents overnight. Some of these things will have an impact over time.
Making the problem worse, many state and federal protections against evictions put in place during the pandemic are expiring.
We're not going to wait for a lawsuit to save us. We're not going to wait for incremental eviction protections to start saving us. That'd be great, but it's not coming fast enough.
Many tenants say if action isn't taken, they could be near the breaking point of losing their homes. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
I totally feel that. The rising cost of rent is getting out of hand, and then it's almost like, where do you go? Because if you go on the other side of town, rent is going up there too.
Sure.
Several $100s at that.
And I feel so bad because it's not just the renters, the landlords too are paying more. I mean, my tax bill just went up a lot at my house. You have to pass that on somehow. It's a tough situation.
And if you're a renter, there's really nothing you can do, right? Like you can't just say, well, wait, I can't pay that. They're gonna make you pay it. And like you said, you can't move to a cheaper place.
Because it's going up over there too.
They don't exist.
And just renters' rights in general. A lot of states don't really have a lot of rights. If you're a renter, say if your landlord isn't doing what they're supposed to do, you can't not stop paying rent or you're gonna get evicted. You still have to pay.
Right.
So hopefully some more can be done to just make sure that everybody's doing what they need to do.
So our money expert on 2 Wants to Know we talked to a lot says you should get a roommate. That's the best solution to this.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Could you do it at this age? Could you have a roommate?
I keep telling people the next roommate that I have is going to be my husband.
There you
I don't
go.
know. I like having my own space, but I'm sure if I was in a certain predicament where I just couldn't get by, of course, I would go ahead and do that.
Even then, some days you'll miss living alone.
Yeah.
Trust. We'll be right back.
Mic check, Jalen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you, buddy. See you later.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Ben Briscoe and Tim Buckley.
Hi, friends. Thanks for watching us on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app.
That's
Okay.
I'm going to say we have some big news today that we want to jump right into.
Yeah, right now the Triad is saying farewell to a trailblazer. Annie Brown Kennedy's family held a funeral for her today at Waite Chapel on Wake Forest University's campus. Kennedy was the first black woman to serve in the North Carolina General Assembly. She served for Forsyth County for 13 years. Kennedy was also just the second black woman to become a lawyer in our state. We spoke with current Forsyth County lawmaker Amber Baker about Kennedy's legacy. Baker credited her with paving the way for others.
To be so giving with her information and her wisdom, it was just immeasurable in terms of how it's had an impact on my life.
Kennedy was 98. She died peacefully in her home last week.
Well, it's just been one of those days. Our middle of the week Wednesday here has been wet, dreary, and cold too. Take a look. High Point, we're trying to see you here, and it's a little obstructed, isn't it? Low cloud cover at the moment, not much traffic on Main Street. 42 your current temperature without too much of a breeze. Some of us have had a little bit of a wind, but others really haven't. Greensboro, similar story. Notice how the clouds are sort of obstructing parts of the taller buildings downtown. Temperature of 40 degrees in this part of Guilford County, and it's a similar story across the region, except if you're south and east. Remember yesterday we mentioned there would be a very sharp difference in temperature. You could drive only about an hour and go from 38 to 58. That's the story for today. Winds are rather light here locally, but there are some gusts to the south and to the east. We have a light, steady rain still kind of moving our way. There's a sharp cutoff back here. It's a little bit drier, but bottom line, I think in another 3-4 hours or so, we'll continue to have to see at least some rainfall across the state. The heavier action has really moved out east, where they do have a risk of some thunderstorms in eastern North Carolina. For our region, we do not have that concern. We're not going to have any thunderstorms for the rest of today. Colder air is lurking back here, and that will move in, especially by Friday. We'll have temperatures in the 20s and 40s throughout the course of the day. In the meantime, we'll watch for this rain to kick out of here by around 7 to 8 o'clock tonight. A little slower than I initially thought it would be. Then we're cooling off. Temperatures going from the 40s as they are right now down into the 30s by tomorrow morning. I think you'll wake up to right around 36, 37 degrees. Plenty warm enough to prevent any black ice concern on area roadways. Now, as far as the day goes, there'll be sunshine to start off, but I do think some scattered clouds will be with us for the afternoon. 49 for the high on your Thursday. A little breezy too, making it feel colder than it actually is. We'll talk about your 7-day forecast in a little bit more detail coming up in a few minutes.
Let's get to some of the events going on around the Triad. Tonight's the night for Winston-Salem residents to meet the city's finalists for police chief. They're holding a meeting tonight at 6 at the Salem Lake Marina in Winston-Salem. There are 4 candidates. 3 are current assistant chiefs with the department, and the 4th is the police chief in Danville, Virginia. All 4 have served in law enforcement for at least 20 years. The city plans to make a final decision by the end of the month.
Goodwill is putting on a hiring event in Winston-Salem today. Different organizations will be there to share about their job openings and conduct interviews right there on site. Some of the job openings include executive and administrative positions, healthcare, education, and marketing. Now, this is for full and part-time gigs. The event runs until 6 o'clock at Goodwill on University Parkway.
New at 4:30, the Triad is filled with all kinds of talented people, and our high school athletes have picked up a lot of national attention. Recently, one Wesleyan Christian baseball player got a call from a Major League Baseball for an all-expense-paid trip to Arizona and the experience of a lifetime. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey has more on the story.
Yeah, Lauren, Domain Van has been recognized as one of the best baseball players in the class of 2025 since middle school. As the accolades continue to pour in, this year he was one of 80 black and brown players from around the country selected to the 2023 Dream Series. Domain Van is one of the best high school baseball players in the country. He's one of 80 kids selected from around the nation to participate in this year's Dream Series out in Tempe, Arizona.
For me, it was great just being out there, seeing like people that I could be in their position soon, you know what I'm saying? In a couple of years, I could be in the same position as them, playing with kids that are younger, that are looking up to me. So it just felt great to be out there.
The MLB Dream Series is an amateur baseball skills event designed to help bring a bigger spotlight to baseball's black and brown talent from across the nation.
Dream on 3, 1, 2, 3, dream. It was it's definitely different, you know, just being out there with a bunch of guys that look like you and that can play at a high level. It was a good experience, a lot of good practice, and it felt good to be out there.
It's a window into the professional environment, you know, with the idea of inspiring and motivating the kids as they start their high school baseball season. What we hope that they take away is to continue to dream, and to dream big and to dream bold.
After completing this 3-day skill development camp, Van hopes to get one step closer to reaching his dream. He knows this is not just about his dreams, but the dreams of future generations of baseball players that look like him.
I feel like it's great, you know. You don't see a lot of us in MLB, but I feel like this is like a good first step to help that out.
And this is the first time since 2020 that the MLB has hosted the Dream Series. And the guys, they got to meet some big-time MLB names like Marquise Grissom, Jerry Manuel, and 3-time World Series champion Mike Scioscia.
What a good opportunity.
Yeah.
A great experience. And you said he's 15 years old?
He's 15 years old.
That is amazing. His parents have to be so happy and proud of him. But that is such a great experience to be able to work one-on-one with people that you look up to and something that you're potentially going to do in the future.
And especially at that age, like, you start wondering, are my dreams ever going to come true?
Absolutely.
Is the work I'm putting into this worth it? And to be able to see that in person, I think makes a big difference.
And that's absolutely a point that Dale Matthews, I spoke to in the piece, he was hitting on. He said this activity, this event is just to let these kids know that you're very, very close to your dream. So the more work you put in, the more of a reality it can become, and you want to be able to see, touch, and obtain. And so that was what this opportunity is about.
I bet they're a lot hungrier now after going out there.
Absolutely. Domain told me it was probably one of the best experiences of his life. Wow. And he can't wait to go back again because, you know, this isn't most likely going to be the first time he goes. He's got a couple more years of high school to go, so they'll do it again next January.
We got to get you an autograph book to start every time you interview these
Yes.
young kids.
There we go. It'd be worth a lot of money one day.
One
So
day.
5-10 years from now, you're gonna be like, I interviewed that guy. I interviewed that young lady.
Let's put it on my checklist.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to him. We hope he does well.
All right, well, getting fit is the most popular New Year's resolution of them all, but the new year is also a chance to see how fitness trends are changing. A new survey reveals the ways Americans are achieving their fitness goals and ensuring they keep their resolutions.
Like many Americans, Vanessa Hittery bought high-tech home gym equipment during the pandemic, but now you'll find her here.
A little lower.
Lifting and training at X93 Fitness in New York with one-on-one coaching in person.
It's more motivating than doing it at home. You see other people doing it, you have someone pushing you.
She's not alone. A new survey from the American College of Sports Medicine tracks changes in fitness trends. Strength training with free weights, personal training, and functional fitness are all in the top 10 for 2023. Online training plummeted after topping the list in 2021.
What we're seeing is an extraordinary number of people returning to the gym, much higher than what was expected in any other year that wasn't influenced by the pandemic. So we're starting to see people shift, going back to kind of like group exercise, where they're having that kind of face-to-face interaction.
Why change something that don't need fixing?
Trainer Chris Fernandez says he's been flooded with calls from people who want his back-to-basics approach.
We're going to kick it back.
He uses strength training that studies show can not only build muscle, but boost long-term health.
Free weights is one of the best ways to lose weight as well as get toned up and build muscle definition.
One piece of tech is expected to stick around. Wearable fitness trackers are the survey's #1 trend for 2023, but the results only come with hard work.
Now I'm doing things I thought I would never do.
Ready for more change in the new year
Your heels stay on the floor
with old school fitness.
According to the survey, another big trend for 2023 is outdoor group fitness like organized bicycle rides, hikes, or walks.
Who knew the secret was hard work?
Yeah, hard work.
All this time. That's all you have to do is work hard.
Now you have a motto, something that works for you when you go to the gym.
So I am not good at knowing what to do. I feel kind of insecure about it sometimes. So I have this great app on my phone. It's called FitBod, and it tells you, here's the exercises you need to do, here's how much you have to lift, and the best part, if you break a record, it shoots confetti off on your phone. So you feel like you did something.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you do to keep with it?
I need to use Ben's app. Is it BOD or BOT?
FitBod. BOD. With B-O-D.
Okay. I mean, it definitely, there's no secret, right? When you work hard at it, you're going to see results, and when you don't, you won't.
Yeah, it's all about maintaining it and finding something that's going to help you maintain. For me, I like accountability partners. I like friends that are also doing it. I shared this on the show a couple of weeks ago. There was a group of us here at the station that started a group chat where we would take pictures of our Apple Watches, a sweaty selfie, and we put some little bit of money on the table to make it more competitive.
I got to get in this group chat because I love being competitive and I love doing it with other people.
Yeah.
Make it fun.
Well, speaking of maintaining your goals, I asked you on my Facebook page, what have you been doing to keep up with your resolutions? Edward Schmidt said, now this one was kind of funny. I made a resolution to read more, so I now watch TV captions.
Smart man.
Nefeza says, I called myself giving up chips. I only lasted 3 days, so I started over again. I think now I'm just going to cut back. Sylvia Robertson says, saving money. And then LaRon White, not have one and continue bettering myself. You know, some people don't like to make New Year's resolutions. They like to make goals instead.
We talked with the doctor from Cone Health, by the way, if you're the chip woman, who says you're only human. It's fine. You're gonna fall off your resolution at some point, but the key is to get back on and to not let that deter you.
And it's setting realistic goals like, are you gonna never eat chips again? Probably not, but how she said she's cutting back, I think that's a great way to look at it. For me, I wanna eat healthier, so I say I'm gonna try to make most of my meals at home during the week, at least 4 to 5 days out of the week, and maybe pick up a sandwich or two outside of those days.
I didn't set any goals or any resolutions, and I haven't broken any yet.
Good for you. That's the secret to life. Low expectation.
Yeah, I did see someone say, I think maybe it was Sydney, we were talking about this on New Year's Eve when we were working or something, and she was trying to set new mindsets. I think it doesn't always have to be physical or a food or a fitness or something, but maybe you want to try and be more positive, or maybe you want to focus on yourself. Whatever you want to focus on, it can be something mental as well.
That's a great point. I did a 2 cents on that because my vision board this year was a lot about digging deeper rather than just losing weight, saving money, like putting yourself out there, having the faith to achieve the things you thought were impossible.
I want to complain less. Okay.
Complain less.
See how that goes.
Talk less.
I hate this reading today.
Speaking of talk less, we're going to give you a break from us. We'll be right back.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination. UGLY, ugly. This has been one ugly day. The rain, the gray. If you felt your mood dipping today, I gotta tell you, you are not the only one.
Less sunlight during the day affects how our bodies regulate serotonin and melatonin. And when levels of these hormones are thrown off, it can affect our mood and sleep.
Not just today, but winter overall can lead to a form of depression known as seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. Signs include weight gain, fatigue, trouble concentrating, and other things that just make you feel off and not like yourself.
5 or more of those symptoms are enough for a doctor to diagnose you with seasonal affective disorder. But many more people have what's called subsyndromal SAD, where you're not completely disabled by winter, but you're also not at your best.
That's me. That is me. I do not like gray days. I have a hard time. Like if there's several days like this in a row, like I have a hard time getting my motor going.
Yeah, all you want to do is stay in bed.
Yes.
Just want to sleep and watch Netflix.
Yes, I don't even want to talk to anybody. Like I don't need that. Like don't cheer me up. Don't do that.
Sometimes even coffee is not enough to get me out of it.
I would agree. So then my question is, do you do anything to help it? Consumer Reports has some ideas, but I want to know what you guys do to kind of like help combat that.
I just try to get outside of the house. I mean, obviously on a rainy day like this, I won't be outside, but like maybe run to the store, something to like get off the couch so I won't feel as, tired.
So when we've had really bad winters before, I've actually gone and signed up for like a month of tanning sessions.
Oh, okay.
And go to the bed, and just to have 10 minutes of that sunshine makes you feel so happy.
Okay. Well, you guys are both on the right track. So here we go. You can sit in front of a light box. That's what Consumer Reports says. Each morning to kind of trick your eyes and your brain that the sun is getting up. You can get outside when it is sunny. They say even if it's cold, soak up as much natural light as possible. Exercise every day, they say, is key. And then being social, like you said, Lauren. Experts say you should push yourself to be social. Schedule lunch with a friend, even if you don't feel like going, because they say these interactions may really help lift your mood. What do you think about those things?
I think it's a good idea. I actually did a story about the light boxes, and I think that they work for some people, but you definitely want to make sure that you get outside as much as you can and not just rely on the box itself.
Right.
I think you also have to know that it's not going to be forever. Like you can change your computer screensaver at work to a tropical beach somewhere,
Oh,
or
nice,
something to
yeah.
remind you that it's right around the corner you're going to get that sun.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Changing the screensaver because you're looking at that all the time.
Yeah.
Or the
Put
background
you
of
in
your
the
phone.
mindset.
All right, now I started with saying UGLY. You ready?
Yeah.
UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. This weather is ugly.
You guys are great cheerleaders.
We'll be back.
All right, welcome back. Tim here to welcome you back and talk about the weather yet again. Still lousy outside. We have the rain, we have the cloud cover. It's a good day to kind of hunker down indoors. We're in the 30s and 40s locally right now, although warmth is not that far away. You see all of those 60s just a couple of counties away from us. Take a look too near 70 at the North Carolina and South Carolina beaches right now. Winter is trying to make a bit of a comeback. We haven't had a lot of it here since Christmas when it was so cold. Since then it's been warmer, but there is some colder air moving across the country right now. There's also been a big snowstorm. We've probably shown you some pictures of that. It started in Oklahoma. Now it's all the way up in the Great Lakes part of the country at this time. For us, we're not totally done with the rain yet. There's still a little bit more, and some of it is still picking up in intensity. Watching a heavier batch kind of move its way toward Montgomery County and Randolph County. So just keep the rain gear handy. You're going to still need it through about 6 to 7 o'clock this evening. Numbers so far, the rain totals look just like this. About 3/4 of an inch of rain in many areas, but lots of us will end up with about 1 inch by the time it's all said and done. Here's 7:30 this evening. That's the rain starting to move away from our area. We're definitely clear by 9 and 10 o'clock tonight, mostly cloudy, temperatures cooling off, and eventually we'll be down into the 30s by tomorrow morning. A couple of people have asked, is there a chance of black ice? I really don't think so. We should be around 36, 37 overnight, which is plenty warm enough to keep things liquid on the roadways. For tomorrow, lots of sunshine. It'll be a little breezy and a little cool. Upper 40s for your highs. Friday is chilly as well, but more sunshine. We'll take all the sunshine we can get. That'll stick around for now, but by Sunday, we have more rain chances starting to move our way. Just a brief one Sunday afternoon, and then we're back to it with more rain Tuesday into Wednesday. Can't really seem to shake this pesky wet weather pattern here in the Piedmont, but we will stay above average.
Right now, we're on top of breaking news in Greensboro.
Grasshoppers hopping, fun for all.
Hey there, soggy friends. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2.
Police got the call very early this morning around 1 a.m. The call originally came in for shots fired into a home along Autumn Drive.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
time for my 2 cents. Can you believe it's already January 25th? It felt like it was just yesterday I was mapping out my goals for the new year on a vision board. I've got to say, I've been doing a pretty good job of keeping up with my targets, more than I have in years past. Studies show more than 40% of people who set New Year's resolutions expect to fail before February, with almost 1 in 4 quitting within the first weeks of setting their goals. Some of the reasons folks might not be able to hang on include losing motivation, being too busy, or maybe just a shift in priorities. But why are many people losing motivation to accomplish what they truly want? The answer could be simple. Maybe it's not something you want for your life. Forbes broke down the 3 reasons you may have already broken your New Year's resolutions. Error number 1. Your resolution is not yours. Too often, many resolutions have more to do with what other people think we should be doing rather than what we really want. It can be hard to stay motivated to do something when someone is telling you to do it. Error number 2. Your resolution is not connected to your people. It's much easier to accomplish something with the help of someone else. Pulling a friend or family member into your resolution can provide accountability and fun. Error number 3. Forbes says, so what? How do your resolutions impact or benefit the world around you? Try connecting your goals to a global or local problem you care about. January is coming to an end, but it's never too late to hop back on the saddle. Whatever it is you want to accomplish, try choosing something you truly want, something you can do with a support system, and something that impacts your community. Maybe this way, you won't have the same resolutions year after year. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.